Nice, guys. Nice to see you, right? Where are you, Muqsit? London? I heard that.
I'm in Birmingham, in the
Birmingham.
UK right now.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Azhar, you?
I'm at Karachi right now. Sanjay, it's nice, seeing you after some time. So it actually brings me the memories of Kyocera and our project.
So, Muqsit, we met while we were working together, in Kyocera Corporation. It was fun speaking to Azhar, and we had a boss from Japan. He was an amazing guy. I'm still in touch with him, by the way. I played golf with him. And Azhar created a very good platform for Kyocera, right? The whole dashboard monitoring, basically. And that's where I started talking to him about the startup scenario in Pakistan. And I realized that he is big into investment, not just what he's doing. I think what he was doing was just a time pass. Actually, his real job is investing in startups. This is your host, Sanjay Agarwal. Welcome to another episode of Startup Saga. I've always said in my show that it may not be about money, but it is always about people and their dreams. Welcome to Startup Saga again. Today, we'll cross borders. We'll go as far as South of Asia. We're talking about Pakistan. I myself is from India. And trust me, while growing up in India, I do know for a fact that the people from both the sides wanted to go to each other's country to explore because we have so much in common source, common people, and similar heart. Today, I'm very excited that I'm going to talk to a couple of founders and investors from Karachi, Pakistan. Today, we'll talk about two things. Number one, the whole startup ecosystem in Pakistan. And number two, the problem which our guest is going to solve. I have with me Abdul Muqsit Abbasi. He's a 28-year-old young founder from Karachi, Pakistan. And a little bit of background about Muqsit is he grew up in Karachi, and he's a bachelor's in computer science from National University of Computer and Emerging Sciences. And he started his startup straight from the school. I also have with me Azhar. He's a friend. I've known him for a while. And coincidentally, he's also a computer engineer from the same school as Muqsit is, which is National University of Computer and Emerging Sciences. I'm extremely excited to have both of them in my show. I'm feeling the goosebumps speaking cross border. This is something first time I'm doing it. I'm looking forward to a great conversation, learn a lot from all of them, and have a very wonderful conversation. I'm already smelling good food. I'm already smelling good clothes, beautiful people, lovely conversation. So welcome to the show, Muqsit and Azhar.
Thank you so much, Sanjay, for inviting us. I have been actually watching your podcast, last podcast, and you are creating amazing stuff. And I would like to actually wish you all the best with your new initiative. And I know you from a long time that you are actually an innovative guy. I hope actually we'll be having a very cool discussion today and looking forward to it.
Thank you, Sanjay, for inviting us over on the show. It's really a pleasure to be over here to be talking with you. And I think it's a great opportunity to learn both from your experiences as well and to share my experiences as they have been back in Pakistan.
Awesome. Awesome. No, absolutely. Totally agree with you. So, as I said, we'll talk about two things. And one, the startup ecosystem in Pakistan. And number two, about your venture, right? So, before I get into those questions, why not you share about your, how was it growing up in Karachi, Pakistan?
I'm more of a my years are more recent than that of others, so I'll take a first go at that. Growing up in Pakistan, specifically Karachi, it's an altogether a very different experience because even within Pakistan, Karachi has a very different vibe to the rest of the parts of the country. So you have people from all over Pakistan over here. It's the largest city, a lot of hustle bustle. You meet people from all different sorts of professions. You learn a lot from them, and then there's a very different lifestyle over here as compared to it is any other part of Pakistan. So it has been an amazing journey, and yeah. So just my 2 cents over that.
Awesome. Ajay, I think you also grew up there in Karachi. How was your, any fun fact, childhood memory? Would love to hear.
Yeah, I'm actually, I was born and raised in Hyderabad. I migrated to Karachi when I was 17. And for me, actually, Karachi is like a teacher. It is actually filled with diversity, so much diversity. You can find people from almost every, race here. And the city is beautiful. And actually, it has a very, very, great, like lifestyle, if you can say that, that you will learn actually while you are living there. So this is actually a beauty of Karachi. It's although I lived Karachi for 10 years or 11 years, but I consider Karachi as my home city. Food is great, people are great, the infrastructure and the other things are actually a bit challenging, But definitely, this city has a great actually like redemption kind of thing. It redeem very fast.
Yeah, no, I think cities back in India is also like, let's take Bombay. I think Karachi is more like a Mumbai, right? Financial hub, a lot of hustle bustle. Infrastructure is always, there's room for improvement, right? But I think being a finance hub, it impacts the overall economy so much. And diversity, I totally agree. Just like Mumbai, I think there's a lot of diversity, as you guys are saying, in Karachi. So must be fun growing up there. My second question is something very close to my heart, which is the startup ecosystem in Pakistan, because I think a startup has the power to bring a lot of positive changes. So can you share current state of startups in Pakistan and what opportunities you see over there?
Thank you so much, Sanjay, for asking this question. It's a very good question. Pakistan actually, is a place where 250 million people actually live, and definitely it has some positives, and it has a great potential, to do business there. As you know that in our actually region, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, they have actually similar kind of problem, similar kind of issues. So when there is a problem, it means there is a potential solution, and there is actually an opportunity. Like if you see, in India, there's a like a digital fintech space, there's Paytm. That actually have revolutionized. I heard about one startup in India, Sanjay, who actually supply medicines to villages, and 24-hour delivery. So similar kind of, we also have that fair far like villages, which actually we can have an opportunity of building the similar solution in our space as well. So Pakistani's market is open for especially digital fintech startups. It has good potential here. Number two is actually the ad tech actually is also evolving. Like you have some very very good startups in India for like Baiju and some other one. So we are actually in that space as well. Things are actually building up. We have actually the problem of schools in Pakistan as well, and there we have seen this opportunity that ad tech has a good space there. Similarly, health tech, like our country, the population demands doctors and these kind of things. So telemedicines and medicine delivery, these kind of startups are there as well. We are working on that kind of solutions also. And simply, there is a good opportunity in logistics also.
You talked about logistic, fintech, healthcare. I think similar problems, right? I'm sure food is also another opportunity because we all love food, and food has become a very big industry from a startup perspective in India. What do you think where the money should come from in these startups? Because like in India, I think a lot of there's an ecosystem of venture capital, private equity firms. There is a system of individual investors too. So where do you think the money will come from in Pakistan?
Pakistan also has like the space where venture capital funding, and they are
Okay.
actually operating. We have that like actually angel investors, the network of angel investors too. And similarly, there's a big diaspora who are staying outside Pakistan, and they fund startups in Pakistan. So that actually create a good opportunity because someone who is earning, they have to actually work for the people also. So that kind of initiative is there. Pakistan actually, right now, like I can say, has a huge potential because most of problems are, people are solving. They're doing it collaboratively. Like government is also doing initiative, taking initiative. They have open, technology parks here, which has good internet facilities and good actually like logistics are there for them for people who are starting up startups. We have incubation centers as well. Almost every big city has a good incubation center, which is operated by government, and there are private incubation centers too. People are actually realizing the potential of startups, and they are not only investing but also training our people, because mindset actually very much important when you are actually taking up the founder's hat.
I think if I want to recap what you said, Ajay, is that look, in that region, problems are similar. And top 4 or 5 common industries which somebody can immediately focus on is, of course, your fintech, digital payment, education, healthcare, food, right? I think if a lot of money comes into these sectors through startups, and if we trust our youth and their idea, I think this is one of the very good way to grow that region, right? And not just trusting the traditional way of setting up large industries, which might have a longer turnaround time. I mean, I have seen that, you can actually make an impact in a region through IT industries faster than setting up large industries, which is, again, both are very, very important. No, good to hear. I mean, looks like a lot of potential, and looks like you guys are very excited about how things are going.
Absolutely, yes. We are actually, enjoying our, ride here. Since I actually took my startups like few months back, I quit my job and take up the startup journey because it is actually very amazing. This is actually the right time to invest in Pakistan and invest in, especially in the startup ecosystem. Since we have a good, engineers actually coming out from the university, their mentality is also, startup friendly. So that actually is helping us a lot.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all your inputs. Muqsit, anything you have to say from startup ecosystem? Couple of pointers from your side.
I definitely think that there are a lot more startups that are going to come up. They're going to be in the space of technology, and they can also be solving very simple problems. But with the number of population back in Pakistan, I think even solving a local problem can result in those startup founders building unicorns, just the same way as it has been in India. So
Awesome.
that is just something that I would want to add.
I totally agree with you because the foundational thing is that it's similar problems, similar people. I think what has happened in other nearby countries can absolutely we can get inspiration from each other and learn and kind of make positive impact to the society. I totally agree with you. Well, thank you, Muqsit, for your inputs too. Now let's kind of pivot towards you, Muqsit. Like this show, Roger, right? This show is about him, right? So Muqsit, so why don't you tell something about your startup? What is the name of the startup and what kind of problem is it solving?
The startup that I am currently working on, it's by the name of Autilent, which is basically derived from the statement automobiles made intelligent. So that's
Okay.
where that word comes out from. The startup idea basically sprung from a road accident that took place in Pakistan back in 2017. And a lot of people died in that one accident. And that made me think that what can we do with technology in order to prevent these accidents from happening? And
Sure.
that is how the idea for this product was conceived, where we are utilizing artificial intelligence to monitor driver behavior in real time and basically prevent any action that could potentially result in an accident.
Okay, so basically, it's more about it's kind of monitoring the driver, right? How does this whole process work? Like, is it a product you put in the truck or the car? Can you share a bit more into detail?
Definitely. So, first, I'll sort of correct my words again. It's not about monitoring the driver, it's about protecting the driver as well as protecting the assets. So, the way that we do it is that we've designed a special hardware. It's got two cameras inside it. Now, this device, it goes inside the cabin of the vehicle. One camera looks at the road, the other one looks at the driver. And then, using our artificial intelligence algorithms, we assess that behavior in real time to see if there is any situation which could potentially result into an accident. Now, this can be a distracted driver, it can be a drowsy driver, maybe he's exhibiting risky behavior such as tailgating, overspeeding, etc. And whenever such instances are detected, we then intimidate the driver as well as the command and control centers to eliminate this sort of a risky behavior.
So, for example, like suppose so I'm driving and I'm very tired and I am kind of drowsing like this, right? So the camera can read my expression and back end there is some kind of AI working which will trigger the alert and say that hey, check yourself, etc., etc.
It will basically intimidate you to wake up and set the car aside. And eventually, the target is that as soon as there's a safe speed threshold, that's obviously we cannot brake at a very high speed, but as soon as a safe speed threshold is reached, the device would automatically help the vehicle to break down and stop so that that accident or any mishap can be prevented.
So let's go a little bit deep on that. So suppose the speed limit is 70 and the driver is driving at 80. What will happen? Will it give an alert or will it just stop the car?
I'll just go a bit more deep onto that. What I mean by braking is in terms of unwanted behavior by the driver himself. For example, if he's getting drowsy, see, no one wants to sleep on the wheel.
Yep.
Everybody wants to stay up. So, if any such situation is monitored and the driver initially applies a brake, the speed drops down from, let's say, 60 to 20.
Got
Now,
it.
the device would automatically help brake the car and force the driver to take a pause rather than him continuing on his way even when he knows that he's getting drowsy.
So basically, like the behavior, which is
Yeah.
uneven behavior, right? From
Yep.
60 to
Yep.
20. So it's not very even. So the moment the device experiences uneven behavior, it
Yep.
starts using its intelligence to start giving alert. So apart from expression monitoring, apart from how the driver is driving the driving, is that the whole product is all about, or there's more to that?
So the first phase is about this. because 98 to 99% accidents, there's some human error involved. The first target is to reduce these human errors.
Got it.
Then there's a longer roadmap with regards to what this can do in the future, how it can be used in order to help the current ecosystem and the new ecosystem of self-driving cars that are going to come in. That's a long road to go. But yeah, the first vision is definitely to assess the behavior and prevent accidents.
Somebody who subscribes to your solution, what do they get? They get a camera and
They get a device, they get a processing unit. That processing unit is put under the seat. So the camera basically takes up the footage, feeds it to that processing board. That processing board is the intelligent part of the system.
how big is this? The whole equipment is it like small?
It's like palm size, a bit more, slightly bigger than the palm. That's all.
Got it. And something which goes below the seat, and then there is
Yeah,
a camera. So two
yeah,
devices in a way.
yeah. The camera is very small. It's simply this big, very
Got
small.
it. Got it. So device is kind of processing unit, the
Yeah,
AI which you were talking about, and then these two units are connected to some central control system.
they are connected to a central server for data collection. So
Got it.
basically, it sends alerts back to the command and control center as well. So they can also see any specific instance on their web portals.
Got it. I'm sure you must have seen a lot of opportunities, in the region. What are the challenges you are facing? Because looks like when you try to fix the human behavior, the human per se also has to kind of be self-disciplined. What challenges
Yep.
do you see?
This was exactly one reason why I changed the word monitoring, because when you use the connotation of monitoring, the other person feels that it is to be used against them. For
Yeah,
example, a driver may think that, okay, the owner, he maybe wants to have a stronger grip on us. That is not what the purpose of this product is. The purpose is, see, the driver, even to himself, his life is important. He does not want that life to go, he does not
that's the
want to die.
education. That's the education we
Yeah.
need to impart to them. Yeah.
Yes, that is why I was talking about that. So this is definitely one of the biggest problems that we face, that a lot of people consider it that this thing is basically against them. And that education part of making them think that no, this is not against you, rather this is for you. That is one big gap that is definitely, that's a hard thing to cover up, specifically in our region, because it's difficult to change that mindset of the people over here.
What has been the response like to your educational or mindset? Like what percentage of people you think are responding positively, and what percentage are still resisting it?
It's very early to put any numbers to that, because there's a very big market and the sample size of the people that we talk to is definitely very small right now. So I think it's going to be a few more months before we can say something concrete about this. But definitely there is a resistance. That resistance needs to be tackled as time goes on.
You think there needs to be some kind of a mandate that can help, like if there is a regulatory requirement from government that can really help your startup?
There's no doubt about that, because if a government mandate comes in and it's necessary for both the fleet owners and the drivers to operate under that mandate, that basically spikes up the demand of such a product. Because as of today, we are one of the very few who are working on a smart system like this. Yes, there are cameras being put into the cars and everything like that, but the smart element of it, the proactive approach, the other systems, they're reactive. That means that, okay, now the accident has happened. Now the only reason that we're going to use that video footage, that is to assess whose fault was that. But what use is that? The accident has taken place, the people have died, there's a loss of assets. What can you do? You cannot do anything about it. The proactive approach, I think definitely a mandate would definitely help.
And I think even if not government, as I'm thinking more about it, if I own a logistic or a transportation company, there's a lot of cost if something goes wrong. But here is a tool which I have. And if I, as a owner, can enforce that requirement more like a mandate to the drivers of my company, I will save money. There's a real saving at my end too, isn't it?
Definitely, without a doubt. Because see, one single accident and it can go as high as $7.2 million. That is, I'm just talking about one accident. It includes loss of life, loss of assets, increased insurance premiums, and a lot of different things. So this 7 and on average, I think every year there are multiple accidents. Some small, some medium, some large. So definitely for a fleet company, it can prove to be a very good value addition for a very small amount of money that they have to pay.
And see, again, I agree. And again, not just about money. Imagine if I, as a business owner, is able to provide safety for my own people. Life is a life. Saving one is a great thing, right? So it's a win-win for everyone. So I think this seems to be like a great product.
Thank you.
Now let's go into a little bit of revenue model, and how much have you really penetrated? Can you share a bit? How are you measuring your success?
Okay, so as of now, we're measuring a success with obviously with the more vehicles that we're penetrating into. Right now, the target is it's not to generate lots of profits on top of this, rather, it's to get out as many devices as possible, because that proves the hypothesis that we're working on. And once we've got solid data behind our back, that would help us convince others as well on the basis of the data. Because, see, a lot of people can say a lot of things, but how true is that? And the truth behind that can only be measured with the data that we're collecting behind our backs. So right now we're working into markets, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, and we're getting some good traction. We're doing multiple pilots over there. Obviously, this is sort of there need to be certain regulatory approvals from different government agencies that at times proves to be a little bit of a hurdle, but we are eventually navigating through that.
How many vehicles you have been able to successfully put your?
We've gone over 158 vehicles, and we've driven more than 1 million kilometers in different regions and in different countries.
And then what is the growth rate like? How do you see, like, year over year, or at least quarter over quarter? Like are you kind of doubling your business every quarter?
It's a bit too early to calculate that, because we obviously working both with AI in real time. That's a big hurdle, because AI in the lab performs very much differently when it's out into the public.
Okay.
So we've been doing small scale pilots right now. We're intentionally not reaching out to a lot of people, because we were trying to get that algorithms working well in a way so that they can expand it very quickly. Recently, we've achieved some of the metrics that we're looking to do so hopefully 2024 is going to be the year when we could eventually talk about the growth quarter over quarter, or let's say month over month.
So is it fair to say you're still in a pre-launch stage,
Okay, you could say that it's a beta phase. It's the pilot phase.
pilot
We've
phase?
got the thing ready. We've got the portals out. We've got it testing. We've got it running. But before any such product is put out on basically in masses, before it's put out to the masses, certain criteria need to be met. So we've met those in 2023, and in 2024 you can say, yeah, the commercial launch and the commercial expansion comes in 2024.
Now, this product sounds like a great idea, and it has a lot of social message. Number one, number two, it has a lot of commercial viability also, both from you guys and also people who are going to use it, right? So, what kind of traction you are seeing from a investment perspective? Is it self-funded? I know Azhar has invested a bit in this as an angel investor. Any one of you can take this question. So, what kind of response you are seeing when it comes to promoting this idea from investment perspective?
So, while they, reach out to me and they presented their idea to me, at that time, it was in a very early stage, looking into the potential of this product, like it can save life. So that actually, ignited me to put my money into them. They were young, they were, energetic, they have a very good idea. It's very difficult to copy also. And it has a good social factor attached with that. So that's why actually I put my money into them, and I actually asked some of my friends also to put their money as well in their product, so that they can build it quickly, and from there they started their journey. So rest, I think Muqsit can explain what happened with them later.
But I'm more of a guy who first likes to get things scaled up to a specific point, rather than going after and burning heavily. Even right now, startups operate either a burn intensive model, and the second one is you can sort of call it partially bootstrap model. Because most of apart from Azhar and his friends' investment, the rest of the amount it has either been bootstrapped, or it has come through winning funding from different competitions. So those wins, they're also one means of calculating attraction. They keep us on the track. They help us get to the fact that yes, we are working towards the right in the right direction. So even after having interest from different investors, we haven't gone to raise a round as of yet. I do intend to do so once I scale the product up to a specific point.
Is 2024 is a year you guys will go for funding?
Yep. Most probably that's a target that we'll start targeting to go to different VCs by the third quarter of 2024.
Got it. And when it comes to target market, right? Is it just Pakistan, or you think there are other countries you will be going into?
Okay, so the target market, Sanjay, it's not only Pakistan. Rather, we're looking in Pakistan and the Middle East. So, as you know, the Middle Eastern countries, Saudi, UAE, Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, they're heavily investing into tech as well as sustainability and safety products. So, along with Pakistan, these other countries are also a potential target market for us, and we're already operating out of Saudi as well.
And what about the revenue model? Is it like one-time sale, or it is a more like a SaaS product or subscription based?
It is a subscription based model. The preferred model is that there's a one time hardware plus a monthly subscription. But depending on the fleet size and depending on the customer and depending on how quickly they're able to deploy it, the hardware cost can sometimes be eliminated, but it's dependent again on the length of the contract that they're willing to sign. So, majorly, you can call it a subscription based product.
And you think it's reasonable enough for people to kind of look at it?
Yes, definitely, because we've tested out the business model, we've tested out the numbers with different customers in the market even before building the product, and what we received quite a positive response. So, as of now, specifically in the Middle Eastern market, we haven't heard that the price point is a concern.
And since you just kind of started and you're in the pilot phase, how many years have you guys given yourself before you see that it's ready to pivot with a new owner, like exit? Like, how many years you guys are giving yourself for this product to kind of reach a certain level?
We're targeting 3 to 5 years. That's what we're currently looking at. Maybe it's a bit more quicker than that because once the initial penetration has been done, the scale is rapidly available. So going from 1 to 1,000 vehicles might be more difficult than going from 1,000 to 10,000 vehicles. So the first 1,000, that initial traction is the important part. Then it can rapidly scale up from there.
Any one or two factors you think, maybe it is more government or maybe it is more private, I don't know, maybe a message for them, you think that will really help you guys kind of really, because a lot of social cause behind this product. What are one or two things you think will really change the game for you?
One thing that definitely can change the game is a government mandate because already the Western world, whether it's specifically Europe, regulations are already coming in to deploy such devices into vehicles. And if such a regulation comes out in the Middle East, we're already ready for it, and that would basically boost it up very quickly in terms of adaption.
No, this is great. This is great. So I hope through this video, the right people are watching it. Maybe they can help support your startup and help save lives. And that can become, a motivation for other startups to kind of come up in the play. So this is great. This is great talking to you. Any last couple of points, Ajhar, Abdul, before kind of we wrap it up?
First, I would like to appreciate actually you mentioned about mandate by government. That actually defines that how actually safety to the people can easily be like met with the help of government.
If suppose government gives you a mandate, I think money will start pouring in your startup.
They will actually reduce the price if government mandate comes. Reduce the price.
Thank you for your time. This has been a great conversation and I've learned a ton. I'm looking forward to more such conversation in the future to continue to learn how things are going. And I wish you best of luck in your journey. So, viewers, this is Muqsit and Azhar for you, the startup phenomena of the country. And I hope a lot more people get inspired from them. I wish them best of luck. And I wish to have another conversation in very time soon. Great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay, and it was a pleasure to be over here as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Ajay. Thanks, Muqsit.
Thank you so much,
Thanks, guys.
Sanjay.
Talk to you again. Bye.